Razaban here for FightHype.com.
Hello.
Welcome back to the UK, Manny.
Thank you so much.
I think the last time I spoke to you personally was when you were here a few years ago for Dominic Brazil.
That's right.
Unfortunately unsuccessful at that time. You've obviously decided to take the rematch. It was in the rematch clause to take this fight against Anthony Joshua. Let's go back to June 1st. 5 weeks notice.
Right.
Some people would probably say from the outset it was easy money for Ruiz. He goes in there, tries his best, loses, but makes a lot of money. As his trainer, what was your thought process when you got the call to say he was going to fight Anthony Joshua?
We fight to win. We don't fight for money. Money will come. Money will come in its own. We fight for glory. We fight for an opportunity to do something great, and that's what we did.
Obviously, in that fight, it was a counter left from Ruiz that caught Joshua off balance and was a killer was a killer punch that then Joshua just went downhill. But was that the plan always? Is look for, because we know Joshua's good with that jab and with that straight right hand, but was the plan always the counter punch?
No, I mean, we had a game plan. Obviously, that was part of it, but it's interesting that people might say or think that it was a lucky punch or like you said now that he caught him off balance. It was a perfect counter left hook, and it's the beginning of the end for Anthony Joshua from that point on.
Do you feel like the fact that you had already fought Anthony Joshua with Dominic, you had kind of learned Anthony Joshua more, and it was an advantage for you taking that fight with 5 weeks notice?
No, because Dominic Brazil is not Andy Ruiz, and I said it before the fight. Dominic Brazil is nowhere near as experienced or even as talented as Andy Ruiz is. Andy Ruiz is definitely a different fighter, different animal.
Everybody I speak to here in the UK, a lot of people say Anthony Joshua wasn't right-minded. There was something going on.
Right.
Do you feel like there was something outside, or you just didn't care? You were focused on Andy?
No, not at all. Anthony Joshua is not my concern. Andy Ruiz is my concern. Whatever's going on with Anthony Joshua, that's on him and his team. He's a professional. I don't believe that there was anything wrong with him that night. He lost, period. You know what I mean? The better man won that night. And I respect Anthony Joshua. He's a great individual, great fighter. He's tasted defeat now. Now he doesn't have to worry about that undefeated record anymore. Now he's going to want to regain his titles, and it's up to us to not allow that to happen.
Andy Ruiz with 5 weeks notice, I think he came around 265,
267, 268, yeah.
Pounds. There's comments that he's a bit overweight at this stage. What is the latest with his training, and what weight do you think he'll come out with?
I can't think of any fighter, any boxer walking around on weight 3 months before a fight, 3-4 months, 6 or 5 months before a fight. I can't think of anybody walking around that weight. You know what I mean? That's impossible. Nobody does that. And he's a heavyweight, so obviously, with that said, he has to make weight. We have to come in at a certain weight. You know what I mean? We've talked about that. We know what that weight is, and it's normal for any fighter to be not be on weight 3 months before a fight.
In terms of planning and preparation, it's going to be taking place in Saudi Arabia.
Correct.
Camp-wise, what's the situation, and what are you going to do? Are you staying in America, California?
I'm happy. I'm glad that we were able to visit Saudi Arabia together and kind of get a feel for the country, a feel for the weather. The climate. The fight is taking place pretty much at sea level, so we don't have to worry about going to do high altitude training or anything like that. The weather is a lot like California, to be quite honest with you. It's not a lot different, and we're looking forward to it. You know what I mean? We're gonna have a great game. We're coming with a great game plan. We're gonna have a great camp. We have time on our hands. We're going to come in and bring in the proper sparring this time around. It was hard for us to find adequate sparring for the first fight, and it was just kind of like being in a hurry to get things going and to do a quick camp. But fortunately, it worked. And as you saw, he came in good shape. But this second time around, obviously, it'll be a lot different. I'm sure Anthony Joshua will come in, be better prepared mentally, physically, but so will we. See, that's the plus. So you should only expect to see a better fight.
December 7th, Manny, what happens? What happens on the night?
December 7th, what happens? Well, look, I'm as a coach, I never like to get ahead of myself. All I can tell you is that Andy will be ready. You know, he's coming in to win. Whether we win by decision or by knockout, whatever the case may be, we're preparing to win. You know, we're preparing to defend those world titles and bring them back home to California, home to Mexico, and you know, we plan to be, you know, stick around for a little while.
Manny, wish you nothing but the best during training camp, and hopefully our guys in North America will hopefully catch up with you during camp. Manny Robles for FightHype.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you.